Hey y'all, good morning. It is the day after our first night of freezing temperatures. I gotta show you something funny that happened in my garden. This morning when I looked out my window, I saw this. Yes, that's my crop cage. It's totally upside down and there must have been a big gust of wind. Isn't that something? So I'm gonna go flip it back over. I do not like this cold weather at all. Fortunately, it's very lightweight and easy to maneuver because I'm totally flipping it back with one hand. All right, there we go. That was something. So there's a paver and it's kind of angled over two of the bottom bars on each corner, and that should keep it secure for tonight. And now I want to go peek in my greenhouse and see how everything looks in there. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh, it's toasty in there. I got my hand inside. Look at how happy everything is. I love this greenhouse. I'm totally gonna order another one. I can't even stand it. Look how cute and healthy everything looks. So tonight is supposed to get down at least 30. Got to 30 last night, so I'm thinking we'll hit the 20s tonight. Yeah. But then from then on, it's going to warm up. Next week's supposed to be beautiful, like in the 60s and 70s and sunny. And like all the potted stuff I took in, I already have ideas. I have ideas of putting some of it back in different places. Shocking, huh? Imagine that, me moving stuff around. Okay, let's go inside and see how the caterpillars are doing because they're all in my yoga room. Okay, y'all, and now we are entering my yoga room slash plant growing room slash caterpillar hotel. So up here I have my grow lights set up. And then you can see right here is the cutting I brought in with the little Gulf fritillary baby on it. These are some seeds I'm trying, which you'll see that in a future video. Here's some balloon milkweed I planted. The whole thing, right? Look, this is so me. I have 3 in one section, and the rest they're like, no, we're not doing it. We're not germinating. But these 3, yes, and all together. Isn't that fabulous? Look, y'all, I put this little gate up to keep the cats and my dog out, just in case they got any ideas with the caterpillars. So here are some caterpillars in all their cuteness. So you guys remember that monarch butterfly I was talking about catching and bringing in to my garden? Well, I never did find it again. Get these aphids off of here. Yeah, we didn't want to take the aphids. And look how cute he is nibbling. So insects go into a state of torpor where everything physiologically slows down. So they have reduced physiological activity, their metabolism, heart rate, respiration slow down, and it enables them to survive. It's kind of like hibernation. So the monarchs can survive freezing weather in that state. I mean, that's a really cool survival adaptation. So hopefully we're still going to find that monarch butterfly yet. Oh my gosh, and that reminds me, I want to tell y'all about the super cool story I read in, it was in the USA Today, and there's a couple who raises monarchs in Wisconsin, and this year, late October, they found eggs, and they're like me. They couldn't just leave it to nature. they brought them in and raised them. Now, what are they going to do with these monarch butterflies that will freeze in Wisconsin at that late a date? Well, they mailed them. Yes, that's right. They mailed them to Mission, Texas via FedEx. They were put them in a state of torpor, and you do that by cooling them down, like in a refrigerator for a little bit, and then you put them in little envelopes to keep them in a dark, cool space. And I think they put them in like a foam cooler kind of thing to keep them in their state of torpor. And they overnight shipped them to Mission, Texas to a contact at the National Butterfly Center there. And then that person was going to then release them. And that 1,600-mile flight will have caught them up overnight to the rest of the migratory monarchs. Isn't that fabulous? It was $130 to overnight ship them. And I guess one of the local organizations in Wisconsin, I think it was called Friends of the Butterflies Incorporated, they paid for the overnight shipping. So if I remember, I'm going to link that article below so you can go read it, because that's incredible and totally right up my alley. So in this middle enclosure, I've got a couple of tiny, well, not super tiny, but they're babies. So they're in their little own spot. Look how adorable. And then look at this little guy right here. That's a super tiny one. Okay, guys, I'm back out in the cold. It's gotten all the way from 41 degrees up to 43. But look, here's the big giant bags I was talking about. These are 96-gallon trash bags that I ordered from Amazon. And I'm just going to try and plop them over some of the porter weeds and other things that need to be protected, like all of these cute little guys. So yeah, this is what I'm talking about. It is like they are little greenhouses, all tucked in their giant trash bag domes. So we'll find out tomorrow if that works. Now I'm going to run around like a crazy person out here in the cold and cover a lot of my other plants. And then this girl's going inside. Hey y'all, good morning. It's Monday, day after Christmas. And I'm out in my garden room. It's 51 degrees, so we're warming up. I'm going to uncover a few things that I covered out here and just walk through the garden and see what it looks like out there. So even though I brought all my balloon milkweed in, I decided to cover it in here just because I just didn't want to lose it. And it looks like I did the right thing. It's looking good. Look at the flowers are still blooming. There's possibly caterpillars on here. I don't know. I'll check later. And let me uncover this one too. There's my giant milkweeds are under here and another balloon milkweed plant. Everything is looking good. I can't wait to move it all back out in the garden in warm sunshine. But meanwhile, at least it's uncovered out here. The caterpillars are all doing fantastic in the house. They're munching away. They're getting chubby. They're so stinking cute. I love having them in there when I'm doing my yoga. And anyway, I'm not sure if I'm going to uncover these guys yet. I just want to watch the temps a little bit longer because we are going to get back down probably in the 30s again tonight. I don't know. I just like the idea of them being warm. It's almost like I don't want to know. Like if I leave them covered, I can imagine they're all beautiful. But if I uncover them, the reality is going to be there. And I'm just quite not ready to face that yet. See, look at my butterfly pea in there. That looks a little crispy to me. And my senna is back here. The winds blew my covers off. Look. That was on the senna. How did it get blown off the senna and then totally on top of the stick of a balloon milkweed? That was funny. How'd that happen? And you can see, look at on my privet senna, like this branch or strand of leaves looks perfectly fine, and this one beside it, not so great. So that gives me hope that some of it's gonna die back. But when you get lower, like look at this branch down here. This is looking good. So I have good hope for this one. The same with the privet senna right beside it. Over there, it's got some good looking stems and some not quite so good looking stems. But this right here breaks my heart, because last year when this happened to my papaya tree, look at it, the whole thing died. Oh my gosh. I mean, died like all the way down to the bottom. And then it shot up some new shoots. I hope that doesn't happen again, because you guys know how much I love this thing. We're just not going there. Hey y'all, it's Monday morning after Christmas Day. I'm just out in my garden room checking on everything and everyone and peeking to see how my garden did. Let's go check it out. And you know, I've got to say, it's been very disheartening having day after day of gray skies and cold. And I know everybody up north is having it and ours isn't as bad, but we're just not used to it. I mean, I don't take it well. And honestly, because a lot of you guys comment, you're so positive. And I will admit, like, I wanted to have a full on throw down toddler style temper tantrum over this weather. I seriously want to do a stomping feet, throw down, wail and cry. I know the weather's out to get me. I know the weather planned this to make my winter break just as cold and yucky and non-gardening as it could. But I also know that's not the reality. I also know there are worse things that could happen. So I'm just going to, go with the flow. Every day we get through winter is a day closer to spring, and that's what I'm holding on to. Hey y'all, good morning or early afternoon. It's Tuesday. We're getting ready to head out and see some relatives that are in town for the holidays. But I just thought I'd pop out here in my garden real quick, let you know it's up to 57 degrees. Woohoo! And it was blue sky and sunshine this morning, but of course the clouds have rolled in now. I still have everything covered. That's more for the fact that I haven't had time to come out and uncover it. Actually, I have 10 minutes, so maybe we'll go pop through and uncover a few of them right now. So you can see through this one at the base, it's looking good. It's just the top. So I will actually go ahead and trim off the top, because the base is not new growth. It's growth that was there. And this should grow back just fine. Ta-da! Same with these ones. Looking good at the base. Look at that little one coming up there. It looks perfectly fine. I am so happy to see this. And you guys, this is porterweed. It's not native. It's kind of invasive. It's not listed as invasive, but I don't see why it's not here, because it comes up everywhere in my garden. But I absolutely love it. Butterflies, absolutely love it. And it's staying. And look at that, my privet senna, looking good. And y'all look, I've been throwing these bags in a pile here. So somebody is going to have to come out and fold them all up at some point. Hey y'all, it's Wednesday and I have the most fabulous news. My blue sky and sunshine is finally back. And not only that, when I was in my yoga room finishing up my yoga practice, it just flew by. A monarch butterfly came flying outside the window and it just flew by again. I just wanted me to know it's okay. I'm certain in my heart that's the one I tried to catch right before the freeze came, and it made it. I honestly think I wasn't supposed to catch it so that I could see that they can survive in that kind of weather. I would still bring them in though, if I could. But I so needed to see that. I so needed to know that. Okay, so on with the day. We're going to uncover everything. And I'm going to be a good gardener, and I'm not just going to toss all these coverings into my garden room. I'm going to put them away. Let me go do that first, and we'll inspect, see how everything is, do a little trimming, and it's gardening time again. I made it through winter number 1 in Florida, and hopefully that's the only one. Hopefully there's not going to be a winter 2. Yeah, my garden's looking good. It's looking real good. None of the Mexican sunflowers made it, but I didn't have high hopes for them anyway because they are annuals after all. The pentas are looking good. Porterweeds, the ones that got covered well and cut down, are looking good. The ones I didn't cut down, not so good, but I have hopes that they will come back. I'm just beyond pleased. I'm just beyond pleased. So I really think cutting them low and then covering them was the magic that kept them looking this good. And y'all look who's there out with me. Another survivor. And even my super tall tied up penta, look at it. The top, I just trimmed a little bit off the very top that was frozen, but the rest of it looking good. I had some little Mexican sunflower seedlings coming up, so I tossed this over. Let's see. Look! Yay! So good to see. I'm going to unzip and open up my greenhouse, just let it air out a little bit. And I've got to get these blanket flowers and these pentas prepped and ready for a delivery. They're going to be going to the nectary this weekend to be sold. Yay!